Okay, have you ever felt like your brain is, well, kind of like a leaky bucket? You spend hours pouring all this information in, studying hard, only for it all to just seep out before the big test? It's so frustrating. But what if I told you that the problem isn't your brain, it's your strategy? We're about to dive into the science from this amazing book, Make It Stick, and it's going to completely change how you learn.
I mean, really, why does this happen? We've all been there. You highlight every page, you reread your notes until your eyes glaze over, you pull an all-nighter cramming. You feel so productive. But then, a week later, poof, it's gone. Here's the thing. This isn't some personal failure. It's because the very methods we think are working are often the least effective ones. And this right here, this slide lays out the whole battleground. On the left, you've got the stuff that's familiar, our comfort zone. Rereading, highlighting, cramming. It feels like you're doing something. But on the right, that's the stuff science says actually works. Retrieval practice, spaced repetition, things that honestly feel a little harder. And that's the key conflict we're going to solve today.
So, why are we so attached to these bad habits? It all boils down to this really powerful, kind of tricky thing our brain does. It's called the illusion of knowing. The authors of Make It Stick just hit the nail on the head with this quote. When you reread a chapter, the words start to look familiar. It gets easier to read, right? It feels smooth. And your brain mistakes that fluency, that easy recognition, for actual deep knowledge. But it's not. It's just a trick of the mind.
So let's just boil it down to this one crucial idea. Say it with me. Familiarity is not mastery. Just because you recognize the answer on a page doesn't mean you could pull it out of your head on your own. Recognizing is passive. Mastering something is active. And here's the trap laid bare. Rereading eats up your time, it doesn't build memories that last, and worst of all, it tricks you into thinking you know more than you do. And get this, over 80% of college students say it's their #1 study strategy. It's time for a change. All right, so if we're going to stop rereading, what do we replace it with? Well, this is the single most powerful strategy in the whole book. We have to start retrieving. Instead of just trying to shovel information in, we need to get really good at pulling it out. And that's what retrieval practice is. It's just the simple act of pulling information from your memory. Think of it like this. Every time you recall something, you're strengthening the path to that memory in your brain. It's like walking the same trail in a forest over and over. The path gets clearer and easier to travel. It's a workout for your brain. And you can start doing this like right now. It's so simple. 4 steps. You read something, then, and this is key, you put it away, hide it. Then, from memory, you write down everything you can remember. Finally, you check your work. That last step is your reality check. It shows you what you actually know, not what you think you know. And if you're wondering if this really works, well, just look at this. This was a real study with 8th graders in a science class. The students who just reviewed the material over and over, they ended up with a C+. The students who were quizzed, who practiced retrieval, an A-. That is a massive difference from just changing one single strategy. And this brings us to this beautiful, totally counterintuitive idea. The struggle is the point. Easy learning is forgotten learning. When you have to work a little to remember something, that effort is what cements it in your brain. So that feeling of, oh, this is hard, I can't quite remember, that's not failure. That is literally the feeling of your brain building a stronger memory.
Now, effective learning isn't just about what you do, it's also about when you do it. And that leads us to our next huge idea, spacing things out and why cramming is such a disaster.
We all know cramming feels like a superpower the night before an exam, but it's a total illusion. Real learning embraces what's called the forgetting curve. You study something, and then you wait. You actually let yourself forget a little bit of it. Why on earth would you do that? Because when you come back to it a few days later, your brain has to work harder to retrieve it. And as we just learned, that effort is what makes memories stick for good. The book says it so well. The knowledge you gain from cramming is transitory. It just melts away. It might get you through the quiz tomorrow, but it won't be there next month. Spacing out your practice is how you interrupt that forgetting process and build knowledge that actually lasts. Okay, so retrieval and spacing are like the superstars of our team. But Make It Stick gives us a whole toolkit of other strategies. So let's add a few more powerful tools to your collection. All right, here are your learning power-ups. First, elaboration. Explain new stuff in your own words. Connect it to something you already know. Generation. Try to solve the problem before you're shown how. That struggle makes the solution stick. Reflection is super simple. Just take a minute to ask, what did I learn? What was confusing? And calibration, that's using self-quizzing to get a totally honest picture of what you do and don't know, so you can bust that illusion of knowing.
So what does this all add up to? It means you are not stuck. It means you are in the driver's seat. You can take charge of your own learning.
And this might be the single most empowering message in the whole book. Your intelligence isn't some fixed thing you're born with. It's a set of skills, and you can get better at it. Every time you struggle to recall an answer or space out your practice, you are literally making yourself smarter. You are in control.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't try to do all of this at once. Just pick one thing. What's one small change you're going to make after watching this? Maybe you'll swap 15 minutes of rereading for 15 minutes of quizzing yourself. Whatever it is, just start there. The power to make your learning stick is 100% in your hands.